Welcome to the 𝘀𝗪𝗽𝗃 podcast series powered by Fortinus events. This is the global stage where CX, omnichannel, loyalty, and retention leaders unite to shape the future of customer experience. Join the conversation as CX pioneers and experts share bold strategies shaping the world of CX forward.
Hello and hi, and welcome to the Fortinus Events Global Podcast Series, where we bring together industry leaders who are shaping the future of customer experience, digital innovation, and business transformation across industries. I'm your host, 𝘆𝗪𝗃, and today we're joined by an experienced technologist who has spent more than 3 decades at the forefront of innovation into the high-tech industry. So in today's episode, we're speaking with Johan Fantenberg, Product Marketing Director at Ping Identity. He brings that deep expertise into the world of digital identity, helping organizations deliver secure, seamless, and trusted customer experiences. Johan, it's a pleasure to have you with us today. So to start, could you please introduce yourself to our listeners?
Thank you so much for having me, and thanks for the kind introductions. I'm Johan. I've been with Ping Identity for 10 years, and as introduced, I've been in the high-tech industry for more than 3 decades. And with Ping Identity, we really focus on getting the digital identity security up to scratch, meeting today's challenges, both from a security point of view and also from a usability and experience point of view. So a lot to do with how do we verify trust and how do we establish trust today. So I'm really looking forward to this session, this podcast.
Yes, same goes to me as well, Johan. So thank you for the brief introduction, Johan. So now let's just jump into the conversation. So first thing first, Johan, Ping Identity helps organizations to deliver secure and seamless digital experiences. So how has the role of identity management evolved in shaping modern customer experiences?
That's a really good question. And thankfully, we have seen the significance of digital identity and identity management really grow over the last number of years. These days, it's not just a security concern for logging in and that's it. It has become a board-level discussion on how you can actually grow and secure your brand. And also, it's significantly important from a customer experience point of view, obviously be secure, but also to be easy to use, not introduce unnecessary friction that will stop people from interaction with your services or buying your products. So digital identity is really a cornerstone of any modern enterprise these days.
I understand. All right. Thank you so much for that, Johan. So moving on to the next question. Now, many companies, they are struggling to balance those strong security with smooth user experiences. So how does the Ping platform help organizations achieve both secure access and seamless login experiences?
What we aim to do and what we do with our platform is to have an easy access to the secure methods that you want to use for logging in, for authorizing and giving consent. But we also take lots of pride in that the security mechanisms need to be easy to consume, because it's not easy to build secure systems, secure experiences if the identity controls, if you wish, are really clunky. So we have a method where we use we call them journey orchestrations, to be able to surface and integrate and use identity services as and when required in a fashion that makes it really easy for application developers, as well as people who configure your security controls as they relate to identity and verification, to configure them so that they get agreeable with the user population and that you really respect the need for simplicity in combination with strong security in their experiences.
I understand. So right now, security is the most valuable and important thing to all of us, right, Johan? So
I would absolutely agree. Without security, you can't have trust. And in today's online world with agentic commerce and other interaction, trust is everything. Lose that and you will lose your business.
I understand. Yep, agree. All right. Johan? the next question. So right now, how can robust identity and access management strategies empower organizations to innovate while maintaining trust with their customers?
I think a couple of aspects to this. One is to make sure that in your enterprise that your identity and access management strategy is not standalone, but it becomes an integral part in how you want to show up for your customers. So it's really important to collaborate across business units, across organizational boundaries. So like your products, your IT team, your security team, all of that needs to come together and then look at it from a user's point of view. When you do that, you can also innovate a lot faster. You can improve the velocity of innovation because you will get ideas and insights from different perspectives. If you just lock it into a single security-focused identity team, you may lose some of the innovation stimuli that you will get from your product team, and vice versa. We should not forget that there have been a lot of innovation around security, making it simpler and stronger to use, like facial biometrics, for example, passkeys, etc. So innovation is at least a two-way street, if not a four-way intersection.
Yeah. So, with having a different level of securities and having different types of, the facial recognition, your thumbprints or anything, that would be so much helpful in securing every data that we have.
Exactly, and it also is often a lot more simple to use.
Yes.
A glance instead of typing and remembering passwords, etc. So everybody wins with modern security methods.
Yes. Sometimes we have to just adapt and do whatever it takes to, make life easier for everyone.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that, Johan. So next question is, so right now with the rise of AI-driven threats and account takeover attacks, how is Pink Identity evolving its platform to protect both workforce and customer identities?
It's a really good sort of point. AI, the threats of AI, so AI-based adversaries, they are attacking all your identity surfaces, your customers, your partners, and your workforce. So there's a lot of things we can do to protect that whole surface area. One is to continuously be able to verify that we can trust an interaction. Now, how do we do that? Again, some of the methods that we have in our arsenal in Ping is to do a biometric verification of workforce as well as customers, not just necessarily once, but on a journey as someone wants to execute a transaction, for example. You want to do a biometric verification that entails also a liveness checking capability so that you will detect, is it an AI-generated deepfake likeness that is showing up instead of the real human person? So that is a very important determination to be able to do. Similar in our partner and workforce ecosystems, as we all have seen, there are lots of attacks and infiltrations on the supply chain and also on the workforce, where some nations out there, they have almost specialized in providing very competent workers, but they are made up by synthetic identities and not real persons. So they do a piece of work for you, they are an employee, but they're really being mastered by someone else. And detecting those events from hire to onboarding and perhaps even regularly in your daily enterprise life is important. So again, the innovation we've seen in identity, making it easier and more accessible and cheaper from many perspectives to do a biometric verification, a liveness test, is sort of helping to secure all of those surfaces. And also would like to highlight one area. It is that we have AI-driven threats, but we also have a need to be able to use AI in the organization. So being able to secure, manage, and govern the agents that work for us, as well as protect our agentic commerce interfaces, so that the legit agents that are coming to conduct business with us can get in and can get access to what they are entitled and authorized to get access to. So it's really important to recognize that AI-driven threats are only going to get harder to deal with and come at us at a much, much higher velocity. So it needs to be baked into your identity strategy that if I can't determine humanity, if you wish, and if I can't ascertain that an agent is coming, is a legit and a bona fide agent, then I'll be in trouble.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Because, right now with, so far it's like deep fake, right? It's very scary that they can actually imitate yourself. They can actually do, just copy and paste from your face, and that's it.
Yeah. Indeed, and we've seen examples out in the industry, right, where not just images, but actually creation of video injection attacks of video likenesses, and then you couple that as an attacker with a fast-performing LLM or small language model that makes it interactive, that it can respond to a chat request in human time, right? It makes for a very convincing pressure point on organizations to force someone to do something that they really, shouldn't be doing, because they do believe it's real. And it's so hard to do this, and the cost for the attackers is continuously decreasing to be able to generate really good deep fakes, as well as obviously construct synthetic identities. AI helps them to research that and create personas and legends based on the identity data that they find. So a lesson from this, just on the data side, is that it's so important to really protect data, private data especially, that can be used to build convincing synthetic identities coupled with a deep fake representation of you, maybe gleaned from this podcast, for example, right? So we need to have so many signals and controls at every point in the journey where people are interacting with us or agents are interacting with us.
So yeah, right now it is indeed a scary world that we're living in, but I truly believe that Ping is working very hard to protect the security of everyone, including all the clients, all those organizations that believe in Ping, and we
Absolutely.
really appreciate that effort.
Yeah, and it's in our sort of mission, trust every interaction, trust every digital interaction, verify always. It's a lot of first principles that we apply to our, how we show up in the market with our products. We recognize the current threat landscape, but also the evolving one, and we building to help protect against all nastiness that we are going to face, right?
Yeah, sure, I agree. All right, Johan. Last but not least, right, looking ahead, right? What major trends do you see shaping the future of identity and access management over the next 3 to 5 years?
There are a couple of things here that I think are quite important. I do know that we're going to see a lot of evolution in the precision related to biometric methods, and also the speed up of that, so that we can really establish our identity control plane, if you wish, as a real-time capability for the enterprises that can process lots of signals, and I get to that in a little while, lots of signals in a very short amount of time to determine risk. It will no longer be possible to wait like half a second or a second as a human can do to sort of, get authenticated. When we have agentic, everything needs to speed up without losing the precision and accuracy of that. So that is the speed and scale of identity is going to shape the products and platforms and fabrics that we build. So that is really quite critical indeed. Then I think one thing that I really think is going to evolve really fast is ecosystem collaboration. So getting back again to the concept of risk signals, having ecosystems like telecommunication companies and banks, for example, and retailers, being able to collaborate and share signals that are related to risk indicators, that can only strengthen our posture and add controls that we can apply in our agentic commerce world, in our e-commerce world, or normal interactions. So I think with events like the OpenID Foundations, the shared signals work that's going on, for example, I think that's brilliant. And now we just need to see participants in the ecosystem rallying behind it even more and having standards and capabilities that makes it easy to inject signals and then decide, should we let this thing, human, agent, machine, device, do what it's wanting to do or not.
All right, Johan. Anything else?
There's one more thing
Yeah,
that sorry, I
worries.
just
No worries.
to me it's sort of happening right already, and it's pretty well established. But I do think we're going to see an explosion in the use of digital identity wallets using verifiable credentials as a mean to sort of get more control as users over the capabilities, right? One more thing I would like to add, lastly, is that we're going to see an explosion in digital identity wallets, sort of a way where you can carry your verifiable credentials with you, embedded in an app, easy to present to people that you interact with. So actually people or merchants or access controls in general, building access, etc. So I think the technology and the standards are there, and we are just sort of hoping that the uptake is going to accelerate. We see the European Digital Wallet Initiative, for example, getting great sort of traction and success. And I would like to see that being adopted and accepted, that pattern, in the rest of the world as well. We will all be better off when we get that.
Yes, I also we look forward to that, Johan. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Johan, for your time today and for your valuable insights. I learned a lot from you. I truly appreciate how Ping and yourself, you guys are working on towards a better security for each and everyone who trusts your solutions.
Thank you for that. And verified trust is a necessity in this era.
Yes, correct.
Thank you so much.
So yes, to our listeners, we're also excited to have Ping Identity on board as our gold sponsor for the upcoming second annual CX Global Summit Indonesia 2026.
And I really would like to see all of you listeners at the event as well. Come and look me up, and I'm sure we can have some great discussions. Come and talk to me. Come and talk to the rest of the Ping Identity team on site, and we're going to have a good time in April for sure.
Yes, I'm sure they would be glad to just come and look for you and learn more on the security side. All right, thank you everyone, and thank you Johan for joining us today. To our listeners, thank you for today to the Fortinus 𝗀𝗿𝗄𝗃 series. And we'll see you again in the next episode. Thank you so much, Johan, and hope you have a valuable and enjoyable time at the summit later.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.